Hey guys, what's up? Shin0525 here, coming at you with another video. So I finished another game, that game being Final Fantasy X for the PlayStation 2. And I played the first version of the North American. So there's an international version of this game that other countries got. We never got it until the HD remake on modern consoles, but I played the PlayStation 2 original game. So that's what I'm going off of. And this game was very good. Not my favorite Final Fantasy game by any means, but I think it's pretty solid, and I'm very happy I finally finished it. And fun fact, this was actually my very first Final Fantasy game. My introduction to the series. And I remember back in the day, I liked it. Again, I never finished it, but I liked it enough where it made me go and buy other games with Final Fantasy in the title, and I'm glad I did, because Final Fantasy is one of my favorite franchises. Definitely one of my favorite RPG franchises. But it's very good. The game is very linear. You're really basically walking down a straight path for pretty much all of the game. Near the very end, I'm talking about the very end of the game, you actually get access to an airship, and then you can go back to places and do some other things. But for pretty much, like, I would say 90% of the game, you are walking down a straight hallway. And again, it's not terrible. It fits with the story because you're going on a pilgrimage with Yuna, and you have to get all go to all the temples to get the Aeons, to eventually get the final Aeon so you can fight Sin. Very, the story leads itself to being that very straightforward path. So it does work out for the game. Other than that, the battle system's very good. It's traditional turn-based RPGs, but you can switch out your characters mid-battle, which is very cool. And you can... And in some fights, there's, like, what do you call them? Environmental, like, interactables. So there's some fights where you're like, there's one fight where you fight this giant robot, and basically what you can do is cast thunder on this crane thing to give it power, and then once it has power, you can go over and use it to pick up the giant robot, and it'll actually detach a part from him, so he can't use his, like, big super attack on you. That was super cool. And there's a few fights like that in the game where you can actually, like, do things very similar to that, so I like that in the battle system. And overall, I think it's a solid game. I definitely think it's worth your time. If you're gonna go play it, definitely play the HD, like, international version that's on, like, Switch and Vita and PlayStation 4. That version, and I think Steam, that version of the game is probably the best bet. But yeah, overall, so those are all the things I really liked about the game. Very strong story, strong characters. I don't want to get into spoiler territory. That's why I'm taking a minute to pause, where I was like, hey, do you remember the part where this guy's actually not alive? But, like, I don't want to get into story spoilers, but I do want to just give my overall opinion of it. So, overall opinion, story's very good, battle system's very good, and that's pretty much where it ends, but that's the majority of the game. The things I don't like about the game are, number one, Blitzball sucks. Blitzball is this, like, fictional sport that they play where they're underwater. It's like underwater football, and it's super big in the game. It has a very big story element, especially in the first half. And once you play it in the story, after you, like, beat that tournament, any save point you go to, you can actually play Blitzball and do, like, another tournament thing that's optional. I didn't do it, because Blitzball sucks. That sport sucks so much, and it's just not fun to play. I think it would really have benefited if they made it like a Mario Strikers for the GameCube. If they made it play something like that, Blitzball would have been a lot more fun to play, and it would have been a nice breakup from the turn-based random battle combat. But they don't. It's very slow. You do get to move around freely, but as soon as, like, as soon as your character gets, like, intercepted by other the rival team, you basically go in these menus. It's super slow. It's not fun. It definitely, if it played like, again, Mario Strikers, it would have been a much more fun, worthwhile minigame. In fact, all the minigames in this game suck. They all just suck. The dodging the lightning, the chocobo racing, they're all bad. They're just really not fun. They're very stiff. They're hard to control. most of the mini games in this game are just not fun. And speaking about another thing that's not fun are the temples. I don't think I've ever played a game with worse puzzles than Final Fantasy X. I want to specifically call out the cluster trials near the end of the game. Fuck that. Fuck that puzzle. It is so stupid. I needed to look up a guide because that puzzle doesn't make any sense. And honestly, most of the puzzles in this game don't make any sense. They're very... You just have to test things out. They don't really, like, explain anything to you. And a lot of the puzzles revolve around you taking out a sphere in the wall, putting it somewhere else to activate something, but they don't explain what it does. You just kind of have to, like, trial and error your way through all these puzzles. They make sense once you figure out what it is you actually have to do, but figuring out what you have to do is the hardest part of the whole puzzle, and they all suck. I haven't done a puzzle in that game where, like, after I finished it, I was like, oh, that was a good puzzle. It was always like, that was dog shit. That was a horse shit puzzle. I never want to do that again. And all the temples have them. It's terrible. So I would recommend just using a walkthrough to get through them. They just suck. They're terrible puzzles. So Blitzball sucks. The puzzles were sucked. And the sphere grid, I liked it, but I didn't like it. Because... So the sphere grid is the way you level up. And you don't level up like traditional, like, Final Fantasy games, where, like, once you level up, your stats increase, and then you learn, like, more skills. Basically, what you do is you get a glorified skill tree that's called the sphere grid, and every time you actually get, like, a level up, you basically get a point that allows you to move on the sphere grid. So basically what you could do is you could store up your level ups. So say you got, like, 20 level ups, then you can go to the sphere grid, and on the sphere grid, you can move 20 spaces. And when you move to a space, you can drop spheres into the grid to get, like, perks and bonuses, like attack up 200% health, or increase your health by 200 points, increase your magic by, like, 4 points. You can learn new skills like that. Basically, it's just a very overcomplicated skill tree, and I think it would have been improved by just making your characters level up normally through battle, and then maybe giving you skill points that you can distribute on the thing. So again, it's very tedious. It's not a great system, but one thing that is cool about it is you can kind of move around on the sphere grid the way you want. So you can actually make characters learn skills from, like, other characters. So if you really want to, you can make Tidus be a white mage and have white mage abilities, or learn black magic. So you do have, like, customizations, but moving from the grid is annoying. That could have been done way better. But other than that, I do think it's a very good game, even though I complained about it in the end. I do think it's very good. I think this game actually really does need a remake. Like a ground-up, like, Final Fantasy VII style remake. I think Final Fantasy X deserves it, because it's good enough where it should have it, and I think it would really benefit from getting a ground-up remake, and maybe make it like an action RPG instead of turn-based, because I feel like it makes more sense, because Tidus especially is a very agile character. He's constantly doing flips, and, like, he's a blitzball player, so I think it would make sense to make this game a action RPG rather than turn-based. I know that, like, upsets people when they take a turn-based game and make it action-oriented when they remake it for modern audiences, but I think this game especially would benefit from that. But that's pretty much it. Those are all my thoughts. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Other than that, let me know if you guys ever played Final Fantasy X. I thought it was pretty good. But we can talk about it down in the comment section below. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, share the video. That really does help me out. Other than that, guys, I will see you in the next one. Okay, thanks, bye. Later.